This is my project for today. Our razor that we just purchased turned out to be a different size razor than we thought, and the brakes were shot and so were the bearings. So today I'm going to replace the bearings and the brakes. I'll kind of show you a little bit what's going on. I won't show you everything because it could get really boring, so just follow along if you'd like and let the fun begin. Got this new tool that's supposed to grease the bearings. So we're gonna stick it in there and see how it works. These are new bearings, but I'm just gonna shoot a couple squirts in here and see if it actually works. So that will help sustain these bearings, make them last longer. No idea how this will work, just what I've seen on YouTube. Well, grease came out of this. Yeah. Flashlight and we'll see how if it made it in there. Okay, so the grease did get in there. I confirmed that. So I didn't put a lot in. I don't want to over grease it, that's not good. Alright, so time to put the new hub and new rotor on. Also I put anti-seize in the splines here because this has got pretty rusted up because nobody did that before. This will help it come apart easier next time if you ever have to take this off. Sometimes these can be a little stubborn, so you just take a dead blow hammer and you can usually tap those right on so you can get the nuts started. And I see I forgot to put these washers in. I forgot this thing had 2 washers on it. I don't know why, but I'll put it back on. I soon realized that I hadn't forgot the washers because they go on the outside of the bearing. But this is a learning curve for me on this razor. This is going to be a little hard to get off. Okay. I tap this back in with a dead blow hammer. Got the socket on. Got the washers in. lined up with the hole hole for the key. It'll play. Put your cotter pin in. And now we'll be ready for the beautiful calipers, brand new calipers and new pads that I painted. First I gotta I'll mount it and then I'll disconnect this one and disconnect the line and put it on the new one. And then after I do both sides, I'll have to bleed the system just at that part. Okay, on these calipers, you're not going to be able to see it here, but there's an Allen screw that you need to back off. That allows the pads to move back so you can get them over the rotor, which I've done already. You can see it. Then I started one bolt just to hold it in place, but got to put some Loctite on these bolts so they don't back off. Put a little bit here. Any in here? I think there is. There we go. Some blue Loctite. I wouldn't use red. Looks like somebody did use red on this before. Red's pretty strong. Makes it harder for them to come off. Always hand start these first. Never use an impact on these right away. Make sure they screw in. Try not to get your pretty paint job all dirty. Take this one out. Put some Loctite on this. Okay, bolts are in. Tighten up that screw. They said it doesn't have to be real tight. I hope they're right. Alright, now take out the plug for the brake line. And let's see. 13 millimeter. Make sure you're going the right way. Before I do that, let me get the new bleeder bolt and washer. Doesn't matter which way these washers go on here. Just that they're on. This is gonna leak. So try to get it on as soon as you can. Goes the other way. I don't know why this seems short. This brick looks slippery. Brake fluid's very dirty, which means I'll flush it once I get this all done. Okay, this is pretty much back together. I still need to tighten up the steering arm, the tie rod here, and put a cotter pin in the castle nut there because there wasn't one to begin with. So whoever had this apart last time didn't put one in, which means that bolt could have backed out. I could have lost the steering, which wouldn't have been good. Also, if you really observant, you'll notice that the brake caliper now is facing the front of the vehicle instead of the rear. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's because I messed up. I put the spindle in upside down. So I had to drop the lower and upper control arms, and I just spun it around 180 and put it back in. So now the brake line's not too short. I was wondering why it was so short before. Now I know why. So this first time doing these, I wasn't really paying attention until I looked to the other side, and I'm like, hey, why is that caliper on the front and this one's in the back? And then that's when I looked over and saw that the tie rod from the steering rack, there was no place to hook it up because this piece was at the bottom over there. So I'm like, oh, you big dummy. Anyways, got that back together. Like I said, I just got to tighten up this and put a cotter pin in there, and then put the wheel back, or bleed it, and then I can put the wheel back on. But I'll do the other side next, finish that, and then I'll bleed it and put the wheels on. All right, I need to take a break. So I got the other side torn apart, and the new spindle that I got is not correct. So I've got to send it back. So now I've got to heat up this spindle. Heat it up here. I don't have a torch, so I'm going to use a heat gun to do that. One of these. That's what I had to do yesterday, because the left spindle never showed up yesterday. It's stuck in Wyoming someplace, good old FedEx. So I went ahead and I was able to get the other bearing out and the new one installed. So I'm going to do that. And I had to buy this tool to remove and install bearings. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll show you when it's done. Well, this bearing came out pretty easy in that spindle. So I was able to press the new bearing in. I put a little red Loctite on the outside, and got that all hooked back up. Got the hub on with the new rotor, and all I got to do now is just take that caliper off. The other caliper is ready to go on with the brake pads already in it. But I'm going to have some lunch now. I'm pooped. Okay. Everything's done now on the front brakes. And got them bled. Just got to lower it down off the jack and done with that. And then I'll probably check the rear brakes next Thursday. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helped. Remember, this is Lanny and Roxanne's AdVANtures, which means not just the van, but anything that's an adventure. This goes along with our van when we do camping, so it's part of our van and our adventures.